What's up, guys? It's Trinae Barron from Northern Lights, here to talk to you about some poetry. So let's start off with the definition of poetry. Poetry is a literary work in which special intensity is given to the expression of feelings and ideas by the use of distinctive style and rhythm. A poem should have full expressions within it, right? So most poems express things like love, pain, anger. Some of them tell a story. Today I'm going to kind of introduce you to three different pieces of poetry that you can find in your local library. The first one is going to be Lisa Flipp's Starfish. This is actually a book written in verse. It tells a story, but throughout the entire story, everything is told through poetry. So today I'm going to read you one poem that is in here on page 124 and 125. This one is called A Round of Applause. My jaws clench so tight, I think my teeth will crumble in my mouth like damp chalk. Marissa laughs, mouths, blubber belly. I lunge forward. Mr. Harrington steps in front of me. Walk away, Ellie. His voice booms again. Courtney, principal's office. A few people clap as she struts down the aisles and out the door. Best prank ever. No more comments. Mr. Harrington eyes the room. Let's make that 2 days of detention. Want to make it 3? Keep talking. Silence. Does that mean they agree, or they're afraid to defend me, or they just don't want more detention? I'll never know. I'm disappointed in all of you, he says. Even if you didn't remove the chair bolts, you knew someone who did. So you're just as responsible for what happened. You should have spoken up. History books are full of horrible things happening because people sit back and do and say nothing. To you, what happened today is okay because it wasn't you being bullied. But one day, it could be. Remember that. That's Lisa Flipp's, guys. Starfish. Check it out in your local library. The next one is called To Drink Coffee with a Ghost by Amanda Lovelace. You're going to find this in your nonfiction area of your library, in literature. So I'm going to read you the poem on page 43. I wish I had known I was never going to see you again, because I would have spent more time clinging to the good we did have instead of clinging to the bad that I couldn't change. What eats me alive? It's a pretty intense poem. All right, guys. The very last one I'm going to read you, you might be familiar with a musician named Halsey. Well, Halsey also has a collection of poems. So on page 116, I'm going to share with you her poem, Ready. Ready. I knew I was ready to forgive you. When I wrenched the knife from my back, I held it up high, and it cast a menacing shadow over the face of the young man in front of me. Its shiny metal gleamed and glistened. I stood heaving, and the veins in my face erupted like tree branches gnarled into the forest floor. I held the weapon, retrieved from my own back. I gripped it once, twice, and then I put it down. That's Halsey, guys. So for this activity that I want you to do is I want you to just find a poem that resonates with you, and I want you to kind of think about it and reflect on it. So for example, the one I'm going to think about and reflect on is going to be What Eats Me Alive. This poem I wanted to reflect on because sometimes as people we often hang on to things or try to control things that we cannot control. And at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit us. It makes things a little bit harder, a little bit tougher. When actually, if we just kind of take a breath and release and allow things to be, we don't have to worry about a lot of things. It would definitely soothe some anxiety. So that's a great example of how I want you to just reflect on a poem. You can share it with someone. You don't have to share it with anyone. It's up to you. But again, guys, remember that poetry is an art of expression. Oftentimes we forget that. So enjoy. Happy Poetry Month.